Quiet. Quiet, please. Here, beneath the age-old hills, in the darkness and cool of the tunnels of Abrau Durso, a sparkling wine is being matured. Did you know the wine that is universally regarded as a symbol of joy and pleasure is born in peace and quiet? We're going to tell you the amazing success story of Abrau Durso, the famous Russian méthode champenoise sparkling wine. This splendid amber color wine was born in the valley of Lake Abrau, one of the most beautiful places in the south of Russia. It was in this valley that enologists discovered the unique terroir, the climate and the soils, which they combined with the age-old manufacturing traditions of France's famous champagne. The history of the world's merriest and most elegant wine started in the picturesque French province of Champagne. It is Dom Pierre Perignon, a Benedictine monk, who is considered the inventor and the symbol of champagne wine. A gifted winemaker himself, he managed to turn the spontaneous foaming, the main drawback of northern wines, into the main advantage of the new beverage, effervescence that added mirth and festivity to the champagne wine. Ruinart, the oldest established champagne house, was founded in 1729 in Champagne. This house was soon followed by Roederer, Bollinger, and Moet et Chandon. We owe the appearance of some sophisticated technologies and bottles with special shaped corks with natural stoppers to these houses. Apart from Moet et Chandon, the so-called widow's champagne houses became world famous. It was said that Nicole Clicquot had conquered the world, including Russia, which Napoleon never managed to do with her champagne. It was her wine that the Russian troops tried on entering France after the defeat of Napoleon. They took their enthusiastic impressions back home to Russia, where champagne soon became a symbol of luxury and hussar valor. Russia quickly became one of the main consumers of French champagne, and so the idea of its manufacture appeared shortly afterwards. On the 25th of November 1870, by Emperor Alexander II's order, on the shore of the Abrau, the largest lake in the northwestern Caucasus, the Abrau Durso Royal Estate Winery was founded. At first, the winery produced still wines, the famous Abrau Riesling and Abrau Cabernet. It was noticed that Abrau's climate and soils surpassed those of the French Champagne region. In 1891, Prince Lev Galitzin was appointed the surveyor of the imperial vineyards of Abrau. That was the beginning of the brilliant sparkling history of the Abrau Durso winery. The first 16,000 bottles of Champanskoye, the Russian name for sparkling wine, were laid out in the tunnels in 1896 to be distributed 2 years later. In 1905, the French champagne cellar master Victor Dravigny came to Abrau Durso. Owing to his talent and merits, Abrau Durso Champanskoye won the love of the royal court and Russian nobility. At the beginning of the 20th century, when they wanted to say sparkling wine, they said Abrau Durso. In 1913, this wine was served at the 300th anniversary of the House of Romanov. The year 1917 changed everything. Russian society was turned upside down. The aristocracy was destroyed, removing the main consumer of Abrau Durso wines, and the French specialists had to leave Russia. Very soon, the new Soviet government felt the need for sparkling wine for the whole nation, not just for the elite. In 1920, the academic enologist Frolov Bagreev was appointed head of winemaking at the Abrau Durso State Farm, founded on the former Tsar's estate. Frolov Bagreev launched the tank or shamat method of producing sparkling wines in Russia. In the shamat method, secondary fermentation is conducted in large tanks rather than bottles. This made the winemaking process much quicker and possible in much larger quantities. So the wine for millionaires became the wine for the millions, and the people could celebrate new Soviet holidays with a glass of Soviet Champanskoye. However, the new Soviet elite didn't ignore their own tastes either. Sparkling wines by the méthode champenoise had never ceased. As a rule, champagne is crafted as a blend of several grapes. Imagine that champagne is a gorgeous dress. Then Pinot Noir adds taste and power and is the cloth. Chardonnay, elegant and fresh, is the lace. And Pinot Meunier is the lining supporting the whole construction. The effervescent property of champagne is the result of the natural fermentation in the bottle. To achieve this, the tirage blend is poured into bottles, topped with the live culture of wine yeast, capped, and the bottles stored in cool tunnels. There it is matured for no less than 3 years, perfecting the wine's qualities. This is how its unforgettable bouquet is shaped. After maturation, the process known as riddling begins. In this stage, the bottles are shaken, then turned and tipped daily for a month, until the bottles are upside down and the sediment within has settled onto the corks. Then it's the master disgorger's turn. Disgorging is removal of the sediment. The master takes off the crown cap, and within seconds the cork is forced out of the bottle by the gas pressure, carrying along with it the frozen plug of the sediment. After this, sweetening liqueur is added. Depending on the amount added, the final wine may range from brut to semi-doux. Then the bottle is stopped with a cork. Today, Abrau Durso is a state-of-the-art winemaking facility. For the last several years, its output of sparkling wine has risen 5 times. Now, Abrau Durso wines are exported to 15 countries, and you can find them on the wine lists of the world's most fashionable restaurants. We're carefully preserving our history, continuing French traditions, and crafting Russia's best classical sparkling wine. We're reviving the glorious traditions of quiet winemaking, and have opened up new horizons, soft drinks. Abrau Durso is Russia's most significant wine tourism center. Our visitors enjoy a romantic boutique hotel, a champagne spa, a cozy hotel, the beautiful Abrau Beach Resort, and restaurants offering European cuisine. Abrau Durso holds an annual summit of Russian winemakers, food and wine festivals, and art events. The Audiovisual Arts Center and the Dancing Fountain are also found here. Abrau Durso is a sparkling mood, a territory of good taste, and a festival that never ends.